How you doing, Rick?
What's going on?
Naomi.
Hey, Naomi.
How you doing?
Good. Welcome to the show. Hey, Damon, tell us what's going on in the world of boxing, buddy.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. There's really a lot going on. You know, as far as Mayweather-Pacquiao, you know, the only thing I can say about that is you're probably having a better chance of P. Rose making the Hall of Fame before that fight's made at this point. Both sides are having a hard time coming to agreement. It looks like Mayweather is kind of talking to Miguel Cotto and a couple other guys that are lined up, and Manny Pacquiao is probably looking at a rematch with Marquez.
How's he talking to all these people?
At this point, I'll tell you, you know, in the local boxing scene, things are... You know, we have Noemi Bosques with us today, and we're going to ask her a couple of questions. But before we get to that, we want to talk about what's going on in the scene. You know, you got a lot of comeback fights. You know, you got Nate Campbell, the Galaxy Warrior. He's in negotiations now and looking at a comeback this March. And then you have Jeff Left Hook Lacey. He wants to lace up again and start doing this thing. Apparently his brother, Kenny Lacey, is making his pro debut coming up February 10th at the Alicante Pavilion for Fight Night Wing House. And it's a pro debut, so it's going to be pretty interesting to see what happens. You know, these guys coming out the Lacey camp. And then you have, you know, Daniel Lozano. He's the main event of that card. He's a great, flashy Mexican kid, no-nonsense fighter, likes to throw his hands, punches very hard. You know, very good stuff coming up. You know, Pete Fernandez Promotions about to line a fight card in a couple of months. So, you know, boxing's pretty big. Fortunately, Noemi Bosques had to pull out of the fight February 10th, and we're going to talk about that. How you doing, Naomi?
Oh, I'm doing really good and really, really excited, Damon. Thank you.
Yeah, now let me throw out for the listeners, if you want to see the article, Damon, that you put together, it was featured on rocketsports-ent.com, rocketsports-ent.com, and that was an absolutely gorgeous picture of you, Naomi. I want to throw that out there.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You know, pretty much, Naomi, you're in the forefront of making an impact in professional boxing. You know, young working-class warrior. You know, you punch very hard. You know, we look very closely at your amateur career. You know, you were in the Colorado Springs, the Nationals, and you had a very big showdown against Cassandra Mendoza. How'd that go?
Oh man, that was a really, really good fight between us both. She was, I think she was national champion two or three times or something like that. And then when I went against her, she definitely gave me a hard fight. I was fortunate and blessed with the decision, and I was very, very excited to get that win over her.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. You know, here we got in Tampa Bay. You know, it's really popping, man. You got the three divas, the fighters out of Tampa. You got Jenna Shiver, you have Christina Swanson, and now Noemi Bosques. You know, I guess negotiations didn't work out, and they couldn't find you an opponent for February 10th. What happened?
Oh, they're afraid of her. They're afraid of her.
A couple names were thrown out there, and then the girls had decided to take it, and then when we sent the contract out, I don't know what happened, but they changed their mind. It was just a really rough spot, really rough situation for me to get an opponent, and of course the time is getting now very close, so it's hard to get an opponent lined up so close to a fight now. So March 2nd at the Civic Center is looking like the best, the next best opportunity, so we'll keep our fingers crossed for that one.
The Civic Center, which one? Is Lakeland?
In Tampa.
Tampa. Okay.
Yes.
Hey, what I want to ask you, where do you guys train? Because I got Wendy, the hockey hottie, talked about punching somebody this morning. She may want to take up a little boxing, so maybe we'll get her over there. And
tell her it's a great stress reliever, let me tell you.
Doesn't lower blood pressure.
Well, she's pretty ripped because she's a massage therapist, and she's got a ripped upper body, doesn't she? Yeah. So we need to get her in the ring. What do you think, hottie?
Let's do it. Bring her over to 4th Street Boxing Club in St. Petersburg. We'll put her in there with the meanest and toughest guy. What do you think?
Yeah, there you go. 4th Street. So that's where you train, 4th Street, right?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Naomi, I got to ask you something here. Growing up, and this will give away my age, growing up with the Gillette Cavalcade of Sports and the Friday night fights, would you consider yourself somebody like, as a fighter, like a middleweight like Carmen Basilio, there was a disciplined fighter that he let somebody use him as a punching bag for 3 rounds, and by the 15th round, the other guy's hands were down to his sides, and he is just, he's disciplined enough to know to take the punch and then get him when they get tired. Are you a disciplined fighter?
I'm a disciplined fighter, but in a whole different sense of the word.
In other words,
I will not let somebody punch on me for 3 or 4 rounds.
Now we know.
I have a different approach to to taking a fighter to taking the fight away from the fighter. It's definitely not to beat on me for that many rounds, though. I got to keep this face beautiful now.
In other words, you can still.
It is, guys. Go to the website rocketsports-ent.com. You think of a female boxer maybe not being look like a model, but Naomi does. So get there and check it out.
In other words, what you're saying is you can take a punch.
Oh, yeah. The training that I've had and the people that I've been in the ring with, sparring, getting ready for fights, have definitely trained me to take punches.
Okay, now that's what I wanted to know.
I'm telling you, Les Hottie, 4th Street Gym. It's not that far. It's right around the corner from the massage joint there.
I'm not fighting a trained boxer. I just want to punch a wall.
Well, but no, you're not going to fight her. She can train you.
Hey, Naomi, talk a little bit about your relationship in working with Jimmy McLaughlin. He's about to be inducted into the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame, and I guess it's a great honor to work with him. Talk a little about that.
Well, it's definitely an honor to work with someone inducted. First and foremost into the Boxing Hall of Fame. I've known Jimmy since the very, very beginning of my boxing career. I started going to that gym just as to work out some extra pounds, and Jimmy was someone who definitely motivated a lot of that fighter that I already had in me. He's very tough. He's very no nonsense. He's very aggressive in the training methods. And what's the word I'm looking for? Just when you're training with Jimmy, you really have to be on your A game. If you don't feel like working out that day, if you're not feeling your best, believe me, he will smack it right out of you. It's an honor working with him. He's been around the boxing game longer than I've been living. So it's truly an honor working with him, and I'm excited to see what comes out of this. I really am. He did a great job with Jenna, and I'm optimistic with how it's going to go with me now. So
no, that's
Naomi,
good. That's good
stepping into your pro career, looking at young female fighters just beginning into boxing, what would be your advice to them?
My advice to a young woman fighter, well, first of all, they have it a little bit easier now than what we have, now that women will be going into the Olympics and all that. I would definitely, if she's not pro yet, I would encourage the young fighter to go ahead and take the extra step and stay amateur a little bit longer and go ahead and take a shot at the Olympics. This year, 2012, will be the first time that women will ever be boxing for the Olympics, and that's huge, huge, huge in history. So my first advice to her would be to stay amateur just a little bit longer and try to make it to the trials. If you really put your heart and your mind into it, you can do anything. You can do absolutely anything. Who would have thought that this year women would be fighting for the Olympics,
Incredible.
So that would be my first advice to her, definitely try to make the trials and go to places like London and see the world, do it. Just do it.
Yeah.
Being raised in St. Petersburg, Florida, you have such a backing in the St. Pete, Tampa Bay area. In the breath of the Jeff Lacey's and the Winky Wrights and the Keith Thurmans and all the pro fighters that have come out of this area, and your name is coming up now, and it's, things are starting to pop with you. I mean, things are great. Talk a little bit about your support.
Oh, the support here is awesome. It definitely is. There, especially with the fact that there are not a whole lot of women fighters, the support here is phenomenal. Everyone wants to see, not only myself, but Jenna and Christina Swanson really move up to the top. People here are constantly, I had to do very little of the ticket selling myself. Everyone was approaching me, hey, we want to see you fight, we want to be there, just give us 10 tickets, It's truly been it's been a blessing to have the friends and to have the support, even from strangers here, it's really inspiring, very, very inspiring.
Hey, Damon and Naomi, we got to wrap it up. I'm looking at the clock. We're running a little tight on time. I only get an hour, and that's not going to change till I just take over the whole radio station. Me and Big Ed. Right, Big Ed? Yeah.
Ricky, it's always a pleasure. Naomi, thank you very, very much.
Hey, one more thing I want to add, though. Guys, one more thing I want to add. Eddie Michaels, who's sitting next to me, and I grew up a stone's throw from where?
Canastota, New York.
Canastota, New York.
Hall of
There you
Fame.
go.
We grew up.
Nice.
I grew up less than 40 miles. No, about 20 miles. 25 miles from Canastota. And when we used to drive to Syracuse to go to the Carrier Dome, we used to stop at the Canastota exit, and there's a McDonald's right there, right near the Boxing Hall of Fame. Yeah. So why don't we?
Street from the hall.
Right. So that's where I grew up now, and of course they have the big casino now, the Turning Stone, and they do some fights up there now. And they do golfing and everything. So, you know what, Damon? If we're ever going to make a trip, maybe we'll go up there and I'll show you all the whole sites, Cooperstown and everything, because that's my stomping ground. That's where I grew up. A stone's throw from the Boxing Hall of Fame, Canastota, New York.
Awesome. Let's do it.
All right, guys. Hey, thanks for coming on. Really appreciate your time.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good luck, Naomi.
Thank you.
All right,
Bye.
there you go. We had a female boxer on the show. How cool is that?